There's a lot of mystery that surrounds Toffee's character. We really don't know where this dude comes from, his past or anything, or what his actual intentions are. Now of course there's been plenty of theories on this guy, but I have yet to see anything that points out some of the stuff that I'm about to point out. Let's start out by going back to the season 1 finale. Do you remember this whole interaction between Marco and Toffee? Let's watch this a little bit.
You're a disappointment.
Yeah? Well, you're boring. And you dress like a lawyer.
Now I'm not sure if you caught that, but for a count of 3 frames, Toffee's expression changes after Marco says that snarky remark. Now Toffee literally has not shown any sense of vulnerability or sadness at any point before. Even when his freaking finger got blown off, he only looked surprised. Mainly because he was certain that he couldn't be touched. Now why would he show vulnerability at such a dumb, juvenile remark like that? Maybe it wasn't the remark that caused that, but the fact that it came out of Marco's mouth. Consider the following. Toffee was awfully nice to Marco in this scene, considering he was a hostage. He even made him a pretty good sandwich, which we saw earlier. That's like a good sandwich. But who knows, maybe he's just a courteous captor. Remember when Toffee first took over Ludo's body in season 2? The only other time that we've seen Eclipsa's chapter affect anyone like that is with Marco.
But Marco, on the other hand? Yikes.
Everyone wrote this off as just being a punchline ending, oh, he got annihilated. Nobody really connected the dots when it happened to Ludo. And why did this set Toffee free of all things? What is it about Eclipsa's chapter that caused this? Why couldn't he just come out before?
You're a disappointment.
Not much to be said here. It's mainly just what expectations did he have in the first place? What did he ever see in Marco? Again, going back to those 3 frames. And before you think I'm looking way too much into that, keep in mind, that's an intentional animation change. That's extra work for an animator to change his eyes like that. It literally had to be written and pointed out on a script. This is an intentional thing. So what does this mean? My theory is that Toffee is somehow connected with Marco, and Toffee knows it. But how would that work? How does this RaptorGodMan have any connection with some little shit from Earth? Unless he isn't human. Now the whole Marco isn't human theory shouldn't be a surprise to most of you. There's been plenty of signs that he's not just some 15-year-old human. Marco can do magic, he has crescent moon cheek marks, the same as Queen Selena, this little quip by the librarian.
You know, I've always wanted to fight a human.
Actually, I'm a human.
Are you sure about that?
His insane strength, his insane resilience, and also credit to the next big thing for his theory on Selena and Marco being connected. He had mentioned that in the book they had said that there was a gravity spell that sent a bunch of humans to Earth.
I mean, there was the whole thing with Sky when messing with gravity, sending some humans to Earth, which, by the way, explains how Mina knew about the planet.
So everything's pointing to him being a human. But what if he's like Meteora? A hybrid. Do you remember that one episode? Season 1, Episode 3A, Monster Arm. Now this dude has been included in all of the Marco is evil theories, but I want to add a bit to the mix. This all happened because Marco broke his arm trying to chop a piece of wood. If his arm got annihilated by doing that, then why is he so resilient throughout the rest of the show? We've never seen anything of Marco's broken since. Even when Toffee threw him against the rock. And that was with enough force to crack it. And credit to Falling Stars for pointing this out. Let's take a look at the spell that Star used.
Relisio Demonius Investica!
As it turns out, she actually said Infestica and not Investica. So then this entire part of the theory is actually wrong. And if we connect all this to all the theories saying that Marco is actually the true heir to the throne, then we connect that with the fact that Toffee has ties to Eclipsa and Moon. First of all, shoulder pads. Also this.
I don't even know how.
Yes, you do. It's the first spell your mother taught you.
Hey, wait a minute.
See, now how would he know that? Also, Eclipsa was the one to make the spell with no name, like the raptor killing spell. She obviously had a reason to do that, so what if Eclipsa and Toffee used to date? In that case... that's probably not likely. Actually, wait, yes it is. Because if we look at Eclipsa's dateability score, there he is! Slick back hair, yellow eyes, suit, handsome as frick, and also I want to point out some of these cons. Probably wants to kill your mom. Huh. So in this case, Toffee probably killed Solaria, which is why Eclipsa made the spell. In fact, take a look at this image. This wasn't the Great Monster Massacre, this was during Solaria's reign. But as we can see, it looks very similar to the reenactment. That's probably why Toffee was murdering his hands while watching that. He was having some flashbacks. And another thing everyone overlooks is that Toffee seemingly has the same magic/soul-sucking power as Meteora. Season 2 finale, Moon took away the wand, and he was crystallized by the feet. But then when the High Commission returns, Moon's soul is gone, and now he got the wand. How would he have been able to take that if Moon already had it? I doubt Moon would get so close that he could just go like, and like take it. So through that, we could assume that he could do it, but on his own. And we should also look at the fact that Meteor either stopped sucking his soul, or he has some sort of immunity to it. Which if he has immunity, that also ties in with this, that he has some ties to this whole thing. And if we connect all of this to Glossoric's involvement with everything, Glossoric stuck close to the butterfly family. He's been there the whole time. So then why do Glossoric and Toffee meet on their own time? What business does he have with him? You could argue that he's keeping an eye on Toffee because he's killing multiple queens, but what about literally all the time Star got attacked? He didn't give a shit. It's also worth pointing out the reoccurring symbolism of Marco with suits. So if we take all this evidence like scattered around everywhere and we connect it all together, what do we get? I don't know, honestly. We don't have the slightest clue how, but we do know it's all connected. And another thing, something bad is coming, mainly pointing towards Marco. There's a lot of foreshadowing suggesting that he's going to become evil. Now the fact that he has ties with Toffee, that doesn't help either. Now before I end things off, I just want to give a huge thanks to everyone in the Discord. Ever since the episode Meteor's Lesson, we've been talking about RaptorGodMan, his potential ties with everything, and various people in there do actually have the book, so they were able to point out things that I otherwise would not have known, because I don't have the book. So yeah, again, thank you to everyone in here for helping out. Now one more thing before I go. Another thing that everyone overlooked.